Welcome to another edition of Walking with J.Beau. The rainy, warm, tropical edition. It's about 50 degrees. The air is very mild, humid, and as you can see, just about all the snow has melted. So we're going to go for a night walk tonight. Do somewhere around 5 miles. Hope you enjoy it. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that visited the profile and checked out the Panther Arms lever action shotgun review with the shooting video. Seems to have done very well. Got a feeling it's one of those firearms that they're going to sell a whole bunch of those, because it is a lever action and there currently is interest in lever action rifles and shotguns. So thank you very much for visiting the profile. It's had thousands of views already in a day, and it's had a few dozen comments. So thank you very much. Now the walk this evening, I am using my nighttime setting, which also means that you're going to have a little bit of back and forth seesaw, because I can't put the hyper smooth on full. So I had to check something real quick on my settings. I have multiple settings. For different purposes and different usages. So I'm going to try to do some city walking. We get some half decent lighting. I will be doing partially doing selfie streaming as well. Selfie angle, I should say, not streaming, even though this is kind of streaming on my channel. So YouTube is making things difficult for gun channels, and it has to do with their ad revenue and policies with their advertisers. And I understand they're not doing it maliciously to be against gun people, but it is annoying nonetheless. What's the latest thing they did? Well, what they did was one of my videos with the Thompson 1927A1 Thompson carbine from 1927, the bootlegger model. They ended up changing the parental setting on it to 18 and over, because we showed how to load the drum magazine. So they don't want people's channels to teach people how to load magazines that are minors. So that apparently is the reasoning behind that. So I didn't get a strike on my channel, but what I did get is they changed the setting for the video. And also, I do have a pending strike on my channel until January. And I'm not sure what date. But I had applied for my channel to be monetized and was denied because of that strike I got, because I talked about the Flibbity Gibbet. When we had the COVID pandemic, people were forced to get the Flibbity Gibbet, usually in their arm, if you know what I'm talking about. YouTube was not reprimanding people for that for a while, and they're back doing it again. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, you may be thinking they're planning another scamdemic. So anyway, we have Cumberland Farms here. Price of gas for non-member is $3.12 9/10. And that's the price of a gallon of gas in Maine, here anyway, in Lewiston, which is a few cents higher than other places. Most of Maine is $2.60, $2.69, $2.59 at Walmart, just across the river. So why did I bring that up? Well, I was reading an article today. This is going to be good news for everybody, that they are anticipating that soon fuel prices are going to be back down to pre-COVID pandemic. In other words, prices are going to go back to what they were before Trump was president. You have some liberals online that didn't want to hear about that today. They're upset that gas prices are going to go down and Trump's going to get credit. So they're trying to discredit it. So what they're trying to say is that they're posting information from an Exxon executive from maybe a week after the election, saying that prices weren't going to be going down because of drill baby drill policies by the Trump administration. And but that same interview that guy did, he clearly stated that he was referring to the current energy policies of the Biden administration. I'll continue on with this one. We pass this guy here. How you doing? So we got people walking around singing to themselves. Don't know if you caught that or not. I kind of watch my back with people doing weird things. So anyway, this person for Exxon said, with the current Biden administration policy, prices won't go down by drill baby drill. He explains in the article that there are current restrictions on leasing, and the leasing restrictions are hampering oil production, and more importantly, will set us up for the next energy crisis, because whenever they issue an oil lease to ramp up production, it takes a long time to get that going. And the Biden administration has crippled that. However, Trump, as soon as he comes into office, is going to free up all of that land, which will speed up that process mightily, and it's also going to dramatically increase our LPG, liquid propane gas, exponentially. Hopefully they can resurrect the Keystone Pipeline. That would be very nice. box of cookies here, empty, in the bus stop. Kind of reluctant to go touch it because you don't know if somebody made a homemade explosive device, right? Anyway, I survived. So, to summarize Joe Biden's climate policies, they pretty much heavily restricted everything. Executive orders stopping the production of a lot of stuff. The result was fuel prices went through the damn roof, as we all experienced in 2021 when it really started kicking in. They tried to blame it on Putin, trying to say it was the Putin gas hikes, which it wasn't. We don't get our friggin' gasoline from Russia. We make it here from oil that we have here, and we should have been fine, and we weren't. So, Trump's promises are going to come true, and fuel prices, according to what I read today from the oil markets, are going to drop back down to about $60 a barrel. Crude oil. Trump is going to keep intact our money policies for using American currency, dealing with the oil market, something China and Russia really desperately tried to change and didn't do so. It's almost like they suspected Trump was going to win, and he did. So anyway, this is all really good because fuel prices are going to go down to pre-pandemic levels because of erasing Joe Biden's climate policy, which this article went on to explain are still in place, even though Biden lifted some on the oil production, reinstating some of Trump's policies to bring gas prices down to $2.60 to $3 a gallon when it should be lower than that. And more importantly, heating fuel, liquid propane. If you buy liquid propane, you know that it's not cheap right now. We use it for hot water. Some people, during the last oil crisis, switched from oil heating in Maine to propane heating because propane was cheap. That was before Ukraine and blowing up pipelines and other things that the United States did that was stupid. So, we'll switch the camera around now. Hi everybody, it's J.Beau. Again, I want to thank you for watching the channel. And click like and subscribe. Clicking like helps the algorithm. When the algorithm's happy, people visit my channel. And again, I'm not monetized yet, but I'm working on it. So that would help me with that as well. So with that, I hope you're having enjoyable holidays. We got New Year's Eve coming up. And then obviously New Year's Day. And so, what happened since the walk yesterday and today? former President Jimmy Carter passed away. So, before I get into the accolades that he deserves as a human being, I want to mention that he absolutely hated Trump. He tried to say Trump was elected illegitimately on his first term because Jimmy Carter apparently watched the media and believed all their bullshit. And, well, that's unfortunate. He believed the Russian narrative that the Russians helped get Trump elected, which of course has turned out to be nonsense, ridiculous propaganda. Not a shocker. But what can we expect from old people that are out of touch with reality? Like Jimmy Carter. Well, you have a lot of people his age that can't operate a remote control. We see some remnants of Christmas decor in the background. So I don't know what else to say about that, you know. I mean, he was a great man, terrible president, awful. But he was a good humanitarian. And what I respect him for is he was a Christian, God-fearing man, a man of faith. He did the Houses for Humanity, Habitat for Humanity. I think he built like 4,000 homes. He did really well. And people just donated money for him to do it. You never had to ask, from what I understand. And so he did a good thing. I guess he was married 72 years. How many people can say that? And I mean, Cripes, his brother Billy, who did Billy Beer, remember that? Passed away in 1980, I think, in the 80s. Might have been 88, maybe, I'm thinking. Somewhere in the 80s, he passed away. And so, you know, it's okay, right? He was a good man. I have been reading a lot of stuff, though, about him. About how he didn't get along really with any former presidents. In fact, they stopped inviting him to functions because he would get into arguments with them on policies and stuff. So, I guess he got into a heated verbal altercation once with Bill Clinton, and that was the last time he was invited to anything the Clintons did. So I don't know what it was about, but I do know that happened. Ooh, the ground's all squishy. We had a whole bunch of rain today. It just stopped a little while ago, actually. So we're gonna go on our walk. Phew, I'm getting pretty warm. I'm wearing a long sleeve with a t-shirt and a very thick hoodie on top of that, and I think I could have just worn a regular hoodie or even no hoodie at all. I think just a t-shirt and a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, I would have been fine. Whew, I'm gonna be sweating buckets on this one. But anyway, Jimmy Carter passed away, 100 years old. And what's amazing to me is he was diagnosed with cancer many years ago. It had metastasized to his liver, and he had cancer in 2 or 3 different places. And he got cancer treatment, and it went away and was in remission. So I don't know if that's what just came back on him, but I'd say he made out pretty well, making it to 100 after having cancer. So anyway, may he rest in peace. Sure, he's in heaven. Very good guy. I just don't agree with a lot of things he said, and we'll just leave it at that. So right now we have rush hour traffic because it is a little after 5 o'clock. It's dark here in Maine before 5 o'clock this time of year. Here to do so safely without getting killed. Ooh, I'm gonna have to throw this hoodie in the wash later. Soiled it on my walk yesterday, and I'm wearing it today too, and it's gonna start smelling like a barnyard animal if I don't wash it tonight. I don't mean to offend any dirty, smelly barnyard animals that may be watching this, but I'm just saying. I'm also using a slightly different setting tonight. I'm using the larger resolution. I think it's 2.7K. So we'll see if that's more stable. I'm thinking it might be. I'm not sure, but we will find out. So regardless, we soldier on. Onward we march. Got 1.5 miles in the book from where I started my app. I am hot. Seriously sweating right now. I may take my hoodie off and tie it around my waist, even though it's a big puffy one. We'll be all right. I've walked in hot weather before. but it's hot and humid. Much hotter than this. So I'm going to flip the camera around. So Trump made a post about the debt ceiling, said he wants it increased because the Democrats are going to use that to hold him hostage, and the Republicans, in June. Trump wants to get stuff done in his first 100 days, and waiting till June doesn't work. And he's blaming Kevin McCarthy for that. Because last September of last year, he agreed to that. Trump said that was a terrible decision, and it was. Also, by the way, while many people have voiced displeasure about Mike Johnson is fully expected to be made House Speaker. I think that's what Trump wants. There haven't been any Republicans speaking out against him. And they're going to be doing that January 3rd, by the way. And that's coming right up in just a few days. We're already there. We're already at the end of 2024. Can you believe it? Trump's going to be sworn in 21 days, 3 weeks. 3 damn weeks. Can you stand it? That exciting or what? And things are going to happen fast. I am not seeing any organized protest against them so far. I don't know what's going to show up for January 6th. That's going to be a day people are going to try to make a political example of, meaning protesters, I'm sure. So, not sure what we're going to see. I do know that I think I've changed my mind about the city walk, and I'm going to take a right up here on the side streets. Because my lower back is barking at me, folks. Which does happen sometimes. I'm going to see where I am on miles. All right. Coming up on 2 miles. I'm trying to plot a course to come out to 5 miles. Ooh, mud. I found some mud. If I had been walking super fast, I probably would have just slipped. All right, I gotta get these. All right, friends. I took off my hoodie and instantly it feels kind of cool. But this hoodie is way too thick. It's too well insulated for, it keeps me warm at 15 degrees, but at 50, I'm overheating in it. I am absolutely drenched with sweat, which is now getting cold. But this is what you get when you have strange weather patterns. 20 degrees one day, 50 the next. You never know what to wear or not to wear. So I stuck my head out my door. I was like, well, I think that thick hoodie, I almost brought my thinner hoodie. I should have. Almost did. Oh well, I'm not gonna complain. Just do it. So anywho, we are in for some good old fun. All right. So I hope this new camera setting offers a better picture quality. I'll find out. According to the memory card and the amount of time I have recording, it's not too much of a difference. But we'll see. We'll see when I upload. If it's going to take 2 days to do it or not. Possible, I suppose. So we will give it a Christmas light test. And I am holding the camera against my chest because I do have a chest harness I wear sometimes. And the chest harness offers good stability for the picture because it's in the center of my chest. It does the least amount of up and down kind of stuff inside the side. So we'll see if that holds true when I watch this back. So trying a new camera setting, and that's pretty cool. Look at that. Merry Christmas, everybody. And we did this other house down here that had a whole bunch of stuff out on their lawn. They took it all in. All the Christmas decorations are gone. Supposed to leave them up till New Year's. Yep, they're all gone. This whole lawn over here was festooned with Christmas decor. And they are all gone now. This one had a ton of stuff too. So almost like, you know, if it was me and I had gone through all that effort to put all that stuff out, I would have left it out till after New Year's anyway. Maybe they were influenced by the weather. Maybe they had flashbacks to last year where we had similar weather but high winds last year, which we didn't have this year, thankfully. Walk off to the side here. So anyway, we're having fun, regardless. Walking some puddles. Took my gloves off so I can point at things. So anyway, what I was talking about with that lever action shotgun is that's getting a lot of hits on the channel. There's not many videos on those either. So that's one of the first ones. And it's getting a lot of views, which is why I do a gun channel. I did have a kind of a negative comment on it that kind of bothered me. And hold on, I gotta tighten my, there we go. I had to tighten my hoodie around my waist. So what bothered me was somebody left a comment spewing all of this freaking legal mumbo jumbo because I had mentioned that if you put the pistol grip handle on the shotgun can be 14 inches if you were to cut the barrel or something. And then right after that I said I wouldn't do that. The reason being is it's illegal to modify a shotgun. So I had that disclaimer on there of saying not to do that. Then I said if they sold a 14-inch barrel for it, which, you know, you don't go into all those details when making a video like that. So, you know, a lot of people assume things. Legally, I did nothing wrong. I didn't tell anybody to modify a shotgun. I said don't do that. So anyway, I pinned up a reply after removing that person's comment, because you leave one of those comments there and then that turns into a big friggin' hullabaloo. And it was another one of those people that don't have any content of their own. They just go around to gun channels nitpicking, critiquing, annoying, being irritating. So I actually hid them from my channel so they can't come back. Unfortunately, I've done that with a bunch of people in the past. And these people are just going around trolling videos to cause some controversy, to fight basically. And I don't like that crap. So my YouTube channel is not Facebook, and I'm not gonna partake in that stuff. So anyway, ATF rules. That's an ATF rule, by the way. It's not technically law, but they state that you cannot cut your barrel down past 18 inches, and you can't cut your 24-inch barrel down to 18 inches either. You cannot modify a shotgun barrel, even though 18 inches is legal. And That also varies state to state. Now in Maine, that is not illegal to do that. It is to make it under 18 inches, but you can cut down Grandpa's old 28-inch friggin' barrel down to the legal 18 inches and installing a new sight. However, you cannot post about that on YouTube, and you especially cannot show how to do that. They will demonetize you or suspend you or whatever else strikes they give for doing that. As we see some more Christmas decor remnants. So we're halfway through our walk right now, 2.5 miles. So anyway, people are really interested in that lever action. I've had a couple of comments posted that are kind of annoying, where somebody said something like, oh yeah, these lever guns right now are a fad. And all this marketing for these and people falling for it. Ha ha ha, how simple and dumb are people? Well, I had a comment from somebody from Turkey. I had a comment from somebody from New Zealand, and one from somebody in Australia. New Zealand and Australia, you cannot own a pump shotgun. And they were thankful that somebody did a review on a lever action shotgun because that's all they are allowed legally to own. So they wanted to check this company out. That is why you have a gun channel. So just because something might seem dumb to you doesn't mean it is to other people. The World Wide Web means the World Wide Web. People worldwide can view it. Sometimes I get people from Russia, I get people from Taiwan, I get people from Japan. In Japan, you're not allowed to own firearms, so they are very fascinated with them and how Americans, because they love everything America and American, they love how we can just have the freedom to own firearms. And I especially love it when they ask questions. So that's why I don't have time for these trolls that just come by talking crap and causing trouble. It's such a waste of time, and it automatically just reflects on their own lack of intellect because they cannot have an intellectual conversation with somebody about something. So anyway, I don't get into too many arguments on my profile. A lot of times I'll just remove their comment, and if they were unusually rude, I'll just block them from seeing my site, my profile, and I have the right to do that. I have a very low tolerance for that stuff. So anyways, I brought this extra thick hoodie tonight because I didn't know if it would still be raining, and it's not. So the radar didn't have any rain that would show up on it, but when you use an app that shows radar, you can't always trust it, especially when you have tropical humid type and you have fog. A lot of times it's drizzle and rain, and it doesn't show up as rain on a radar. It looks like there's no rain. But then you go out and sure enough, it's raining. So that's exactly what happened yesterday, actually, on the woods walk. which turned out to be Woods Walk Gun Talk number 37. I had guessed it was 38, 39, maybe even 40, but I got ahead of myself a little bit. Had been a month, a little over a month, since I had uploaded a Woods Walk Gun Talk. So that was definitely fun to do. And turned out to be a nice day. I had said it was 45 degrees. It was actually 38 degrees. So again, I think a lot of that has to do with this hoodie I wear that's way too warm, which is good. I mean, it's great when it's 25 degrees out and you're at the shooting range and it's windy. The wind chills around 7 to 8 Fahrenheit. It's nice to have a nice thick hoodie. But what I think I got to do is when it is over 32 degrees, or let's say I'll pick a number like 34. When it's over 34 degrees, I'll wear a lighter hoodie unless it's very windy. I think that'll be my policy on that. I think that'll work. Whew, I know you can't see that, but that's some nasty pothole damage. Kind of stuff you need an alignment after hitting that. All right, well, I am definitely overdressed. I'm wearing leggings, kind of like these cotton camouflage things that I wear when I go shooting at the range in the wintertime. And my friggin' legs are sweating. They're soaked. Well, can't do nothing about it now unless I take my pants off and pull my leggings off. I'm not going to do that. Not in public anyways. It's kind of strange because when winter starts, you know, your body is used to 70, 80, 90 degrees over the summer. I mean, we get days here, it's 95, very hot and humid, like it is down south. And arguably, we get dew points very similar to down south, albeit in short stretches. Nothing like you guys get down there, but we do get a taste of it. And I don't walk on those days. I walk late at night. I think the warmest I've ever walked at midnight was 80 degrees. It was 80 degrees at midnight. And it was like 95, 96 during the day. That doesn't happen here very often. But anyways, we're gonna hang a right over here, head on down the road, and then I gotta walk about a mile down the road past that, hang a left, and walk another mile. And again, this is the same area where that mass shooting that happened here. It's only about a half mile from here in Lewiston, Maine. Just at 3 miles. I gotta pull my hoodie up on my waist. tighten it. There we go. We're nice and snug for at least a half mile anyways. Let me flip the camera around here. All right, hey everybody. Here we go. I got my Fast Times at Ridgemont High t-shirt on. I like that movie. That's a movie that came out when I was in middle school, 1982. It's a classic. I was 14 years old at the time. Seventh or eighth grade. 8th grade, I believe. And we had a class clown guy that for about a week he came in every day imitating Jeff Spicoli, Sean Penn's role in that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I thought it was really silly, weird, and stupid back then, and even more so now. So, pretty funny stuff though. Back then, things were a lot more innocent. People had more fun. We didn't have cell phones, didn't have the internet. There was internet, but it wasn't the same. You had to enter everything, program it yourself, type in your commands, hit enter, things like that. A lot of people used to use BBS boards on amber chrome monitors. BBS boards. Bulletin boards. So, I'm kind of a nostalgic person, if you haven't noticed. All the stuff I used to be into when I was a kid, I like now. That includes guns. Even though wasn't always shooting firearms when we were kids. Always liked BB guns. Always got BB gun pistols. Used to love watching movies. We used to play Army with fake firearms, plastic ones, you know. Always loved that stuff. And I used to watch Batman reruns, Tom and Jerry, all that stuff. And I used to love construction equipment, motorcycles, Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel was big when I was about 10 years old, 1978. And I remember the thing with him jumping across the Grand Canyon, crashing his vehicle. It was very dangerous. He was lucky he wasn't killed. And so I remember a lot of that stuff. I remember seeing Smokey and the Bandit in the theaters. Land That Time Forgot with Doug McClure. Thought that was a really cool movie in the theater. I really enjoyed that. I was a kid, it was great. And even now, I watch a rerun of it. I have the DVD, and it's still enjoyable. So there's a lot of nostalgic things that mean a lot to people. That's good. It's all good. So tonight we got fog. We had more fog last night because there was more snow on the ground. We had ice fog. That's where the air is humid, and the snow does what a cold glass of water does in humidity. It sweats. So there was a lot of that last night. Very foggy. Would have been horrible driving last night. Whew, I'm getting a little breeze right now. That's nice. So when I get back tonight from my walk, I'll have some trail mix, have something to drink, take a hot shower, and upload this video while I eat. My lower back is loosening up now. Upside down. There we go. I don't want to lose you. Rock and roll, folks. I can have the camera a little closer with the super view extra wide lens on. Anyway, things are looking good right now. Things have been quiet with Russia and NATO and Ukraine. 3 more weeks. We just got to make it 3 more weeks. Hope nothing crazy happens. Hope nothing crazy happens. Pray that nothing does, and that we keep peace until Trump is sworn in. And the good news is Trump's been president before, so he has a very short learning curve, which is basically doesn't have a learning curve. So it's been a while since we've had a president serve 2 terms non-consecutively. We can argue about 2020's results all we want to, but we can't change the past. I'm just really glad Trump won, and won decisively. That's really important, because no matter what conspiracy theory you tend to believe, they cheated in 2020 to get rid of Trump, or whether or not Trump got elected in 2016 because of Russia, whatever your conspiracy theory is, all of that got put to rest this election. Nobody disputes anything about it. The American people spoke very loudly, sent a message, and people want unity. I do. I don't want to fight with Democrats. But every time you turn around, they're doing something crazy. You know, they need to stop doing that. I mean, if you want to have special rights for trans people and the LGBT community, that's fine. It's America. You're allowed to have your, you know, your thoughts and feelings on that, and your politics and policies, but don't punish other people. Oh, go ahead. Just don't punish other people that don't agree with you. And that's really the problem they had. All the Democrats did wrong was to force people to comply with their ideologies. Do this, or we're going to do this to you. We're going to call you a racist, a bigot. You're going to lose your job, lose your pension. You'll get fired from your government job. You have to go along or you'll be disciplined. That's what they did wrong. It caught up with them, and people said, you know what? We don't have to do that. It's okay to speak what's on our mind. they found out that it wasn't the majority. That was just a few people in the establishment policing everybody else. It was not the majority. And people finally figured that out. And we're all better off for it. So I gotta salute my flag I go by here every time. POW flag, MIA. I always salute the flag when I go by this house. Vietnam veteran lives there. You've heard me talk about him before. Older guy with a beard. Nice fella. Haven't had very many conversations with him. Well, what little there were, he was nice. A lot more than can be said for a lot of other people. So we're going to hang a left up ahead. I'm going to flip the camera around. We have the reindeer on the lawn. Stop shaking you around. Sorry about that. I got some more decor here. Last year at this time we had a lot of tree damage from storms, and we were going to get another one in about a month from now. It really caused problems as well. And then the last 2 weeks of winter we had 2 blizzards. After not having hardly any snow all last winter, we mostly had rain. We ended up having 2 snowstorms with just under 2 feet in each one of them. Then it got warm after that and everything melted within a week and a half. Crazy weather. Like right now, I'm starting to see the sky open up and we'll get some bright stars up there. So there's definitely a front that's going to be going by. And also, I saw this guy's video on YouTube. Apparently it's been making its rounds on the internet. And these people are talking about record cold temperatures coming to the northern part of the country and northeast and parts of Maine. They were saying some parts in Maine around January 10th are going to be minus 30 at night. Well, first of all, we have never gotten that cold. Not ever. Coldest I remember is minus 19, which granted, okay, that's friggin' cold. It was temporary. It was for 2 days. But this person who does weather on YouTube, he's not certified in anything. He's not an expert in anything. He just does these weather things and uses these weather computer models. And that is a very well-behaved German Shepherd we just walked by. Usually out in their pen like that, they would have been barking up a storm. So they either have good owners or the dog is afraid of their owners. So, sorry about that shaky. Once in a while I gotta adjust my hoodie. It's tight around my waist by the sleeves. So anyway, usually what these guys do is they'll run 3, 4, maybe 5 different computer models. And a lot of times they're just using data from a weather service that's either legit or not legit. Then they turn around and they make a booga 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 video for clicks on YouTube and TikTok. And that's all this was. I don't anticipate minus 30 here in Maine ever in my lifetime. I just don't see it ever happening. Is it mathematically possible? Sure it is. But not this year. The weather patterns this year do not agree with that. Now, you might see something like that in Bismarck, North Dakota, South Dakota. They do get cold like that sometimes. Sometimes you'll see Minnesota be minus 25, 30. You know, it's, but this is Maine. It's not going to happen here. And it's not going to dip all the way down to friggin' Georgia. They were talking about minus 15 in friggin' Georgia. It's like, come on, guys. That means a couple of people that watch will do an experiment, okay? There's at least 2 people that watch from South Carolina that watch this, and they're probably laughing hysterically that they could ever possibly get minus 15, minus 20. Because if you do, let me tell you, you are going to be shell-shocked. Because that's damn cold here and we're used to it. But I don't anticipate that happening. So I think this is a bunch of malarkey, as Mr. Biden would say, which thank God we're getting rid of him soon, huh? That son of a bitch. Gotta get rid of him. He's on his way out, folks. People are forgetting he's even there. Trump's being treated like he's the president already. Talking with world leaders, and Biden's just in a coma. I'm upset that people voted for him in the first place. You know, you can say, well, you know, they stole the election, they did this, they did that. The point is, we just saw what happens when the election isn't close. And I still believe they cheated in this one. They just couldn't do it enough. And I think people that did it need to be prosecuted. I'm sure there's evidence. And so, and we just hit 4 miles. We've got another mile and a half to go. But it is a good night to walk tonight. So, people need to be prosecuted. But anyway, what I'm talking about with 2020 is that shouldn't have even been close. I have no idea why people were upset with Trump. Not enough to vote for him. Because he got more votes than any sitting president ever, an incumbent. And that should have been a win. That was a pandemic vote. A lot of people were like, well, people were at home and they voted. Well, that's all fine and good, but I don't know why you're blaming the pandemic and how it was being dealt with on Trump. The media spread just enough misinformation, like the ingesting bleach lie. Trump never said to ingest disinfectants or bleach. He never said that. And if that's one thing Paul Harrell has said on his profile that I disagree with, and I mentioned it 3 or 4 times in the video that he mentioned that in, I don't think he ever got the message, which is unfortunate. But according to how things work, apparently when you pass away, you know everything. from people that have near-death experiences. That's what they've said. It's like all of a sudden you're using all of your brain because you don't have one anymore. Not a biological one anyway. And you also know everything you did wrong. It doesn't have to be explained to you. So that must be weird. So anyway, I gotta retie my hoodie. Hold on a second. There we go. I had to readjust things. So my lower back is not sharp tonight. And I've explained this to you before, even before I injured my back in 2005. Even before that, in the 90s, when I was a lot younger and I'd go play ice hockey a lot, there were some days that my muscles in my lower back just did not have it. Just did not cooperate. And that's what this feels like. So this is probably more that than actual back injury. Because for the most part, I withstand and get along with the back injury aspects pretty good these days. So we're gonna walk. I don't have my little flashlight tonight. I'm gonna be walking on a stretch that's gonna be dark. So I'll have to take my cell phone out and put that flashlight on. I'll be coming up on 4.5 miles shortly. Might see some deer tonight. Mild like it is. Snow's all melted. They might be out eating. All the acorns have been uncovered. There's a mail truck still delivering. It's about 6 o'clock, I'm guessing. Sounds like it needs a muffler. I like the light show on this place. Check this out. Oops, stepped on a puddle. Whew, I am so soaked with sweat. I gotta adjust my hoodie again. Sorry about that. So we're trying a new, better, higher bit rate, high resolution recording. We'll see how that looks. It worked good on the playback on the device. Sometimes that can be deceptive. So tomorrow we're going to be back to the mid-30s, and then it's going to get colder as the week goes on. It'll always be around 30 though, but After this weekend coming up, supposedly, we're going to get down to the 25 for a high temperature. It's about where we should be this time of year. And then it'll be cold again. But we'll have some walking days. Now, the way my back feels tonight, if it feels like this tomorrow, I'm not going to walk tomorrow. That's why it's an almost daily walking vlog. Could have worn my sneakers tonight. That's the other thing. I could have worn my Reeboks. That would have been a lot better than my boots. So, making all kinds of mistakes tonight. Walk up this way, hang a right. Whew. Four and a half miles. I am getting fatigued. Kid you not. Having all kinds of hoodie problems. Got my phone out when I need to put my flashlight on. I'll put it on. I'm trying to walk without swinging the camera. Sometimes I forget I'm carrying a camera, and then I just start swinging my arms around holding it. And then when I watch the video back, it's like, man, the picture's jerking around all over the place. What the hell are you doing? So, I think we are going to put the light on now, which I'm sure you can see now. That way cars coming towards me will see it. I'm going to angle it off to the side a little bit so I don't blind anybody. Not that I think it's really bright enough to do that. Plus I want to see if I'm going to step on a dead squirrel or a dead possum, which we have seen on this section more than once. And worst of all, I don't want to step on a dead skunk. Ooh. So, cars are coming. I'm going to let them go by. The ground here is thawed out. It's too soft to walk on. So I'm going to get up on the curb here, wait till this car goes by. Ugh, we got another one. See, this is all mud. Not good. And we're not going to run out of cars coming either, apparently. Now there's no cars coming. All of this stuff on the side here is all soft mud, very soft mud. until I can cross the street on the other side. I hear another car coming. Up here, a little more off to the side. I got more room here with pavement. There we go. There we go. We got through the tough part. Up ahead here, I'll cross over. The ground will be more stable. I gotta watch this car coming. I'll walk off to the side here. Go off to the side again. Wait until this car goes by. That guy right there absolutely did not see me. That's why I stepped off to the side, and he got my cell phone flashlight right in his face. More cars coming. As soon as these cars here go by, I'm going to cross. People just do not watch. They don't care. Walk off to the side here. Phew. Not an easy walk tonight. I should have stuck to my original city route. Now I knew there'd be no snow here, but there's also too much soft footing. I'll shine this out in the field. I don't see any deer eyeballs looking back at us. They still haven't fixed this street light up ahead here. I'm going on 1.5 years now. I'm watching behind me. I gotta fix my hoodie. There we go. Jeez, I had a crisis. Somebody coming up behind me here. I gotta come off to the side. You have to remember, my boots are not reflective like my sneakers are. That's why I should have worn my sneakers. Even though my feet would be wet by now. It would have been safer. Right now I'm walking on soft shoulder on the side because of all the rain we had. I don't see any deer. No deer tonight. Well, it's still early too, but there's a whole crap load of acorns here. Wow. They're gonna eat good. They're going to eat well, I should say. So I'm sure that video there is going to look all shaky and not too good. My apologies. But my flashlight away now, which is my cell phone. Pull my pants up. I am having a rough time of this. Pants are coming down. My hoodie's coming down, which means my carry is coming down. I think I'm situated now. Now I got a sidewalk. I gotta tell you, that was not enjoyable. I'm sure that probably looked pretty ridiculous on camera too. I dropped my cell phone in the grass, blinded myself with it because the cell phone was shining back up in my face, which was really funny because it hampered me from trying to pick it up while I'm listening for cars coming. And I know you're not going to be able to see that, but that is a straight overhead view with really bright stars. And I doubt you'll be able to see it, but trust me, they look awesome. We just hit 5 miles. I'll be signing off up ahead here. Actually, I'll sign off right now. We've got a nice street light here. Hi friends. So anyway, thank you for walking with me, and I hope you enjoyed the videos, and check out the video for the Panzer Arms lever action shotgun. That's uploaded. It's doing well. Click and share the content. Click like, subscribe, all that stuff. Share the content. And also check out my Woods Walk Gun Talk number 37 from yesterday. And then of course we got this walk here we just did. And I just want to thank you very much for walking with me, and through the troubles and hassles we just had walking in the dark and in the mud. And we'll see you on the next walk, friends. Thank you very much for walking with me and watching. I really appreciate it. Have a beautiful New Year's, and God bless you and your family. Bye-bye, friends.